A recurring theme over the last year here at What She Said has been about women and personal finance. Despite the fact that by 2030, women will control 65% of the wealth in this country, there is a lack of confidence in managing that wealth. Meridian Credit Union wants to help change that. And it's why I'm so excited to be helping build out an 8-part masterclass with them to help women gain financial literacy and tackle common money issues head on. Joining me now to discuss is VP of Wealth at Meridian Credit Union, Dilys D'Cruz. Welcome back, Dilys.
Thanks, Candice. It's always fun to be here.
I am so excited about this year. I mean, this is what, 4 years Meridian has worked with What She Said?
Yeah, we are so pumped, and we've had such great success working with you. And now this is kind of the next step, and I'm really pumped about this masterclass too.
Yeah, because I think through our conversations, it's sort of come to light that women are really struggle with these money conversations, just some basic money knowledge, and we want to remove the shame and the discomfort of that, right?
Oh yeah, and the whole theme for the last 4 years, right? Has been about educating women, and I'm so passionate about it, and it's really the base of our whole business model is really to get out there and educate women. And we know that there's a gap. We've talked about all the stats. We know that right now women control 2 trillion of wealth. And so, if there's a gap in knowledge and they're afraid to invest, and advisors aren't approaching them and they have all this money, we've got to do something. So this whole masterclass is going to kind of pull all the stuff we've talked about, but kind of keep it light, keep it fun, and use you as a guinea pig, because you can ask us all the questions you want to.
Well, I think the best part about this is literally I am pretty much financially illiterate, or was, when I started these conversations with you. And I love the confidence I'm gaining the more I talk to you. And I'm happy. I really do want to share that with my audience, because there is some power that comes with learning all of these things. So we have 8 classes. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have some really great discussions. We've got a bunch of fun little things planned as well. But let's talk about what we're going to cover in these 8 master classes.
Okay, so today's the kickoff. So we're going to talk about the why, but what we're going to do is, I would say we've broken it down into really 2 main areas. First is money conversations. How to have money conversations. So we're going to dive into that. But before I do, because I jumped to the money conversations, we're going to start with the basics. The very first one is going to be, how to budget, how to, what's your cash flow, just basic things that we may be afraid to ask, and just kind of taking a look at your personal financial situation. So really basic, and no question is a dumb question. So, as we're talking through it, I think this is going to be the safe place. Then we're going to dive into some money conversations. All excited about that, because we know that women are not having conversations. So they're not having conversations with each other. I really want to encourage women to talk about money with each other. But we're going to talk about how to have conversations with your partner. So how do you have that conversation? How do you get more involved? We're going to actually have a really good segment on how to have the conversation with parents. We know that a lot of women are juggling that sandwich generation, right? You're looking after kids and you're looking after your parents. And so how do you have that intergenerational money conversation and really sit down and help guide your parents and make sure that, the right conversations happening, that they have a will in place, that they have what we call a plan B in place, so that there's a booklet that kind of documents all the things they want. So we're going to talk about money conversations. Then we're going to get into kind of talking about money and planning and managing through life stages. And we've picked a few. And so one of them is going to be preparing for children. What do I have to think about? How do I plan for that? We're going to talk about going through divorce. We've talked about that before, but we're going to go deeper,
I can relate to that topic.
Right. What do you need to know? How do you need to prepare? That when you're going through divorce, when you go see a lawyer, the very first thing is they're going to ask you for a financial statement. And many women go in there and they're overwhelmed because they don't know how to do a financial statement. So we're going to go through that. We're going to talk about building wealth while you're single. So this is really important, because, the stat is 9 out of 10 of us are going to have to manage money at some point in time, because we're going to be by ourselves. And so for whatever reason, it might be by choice, it might be through death of a spouse, it might be divorce. So how do I build wealth when I'm single. So we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to bring it all together. Where the last segment is going to be just kind of wrap it all up. Now what, and what's the next step? How do you go from here? Where do you go from here? So again, I'm really excited about the topics, what we're going to go through, and we just want to keep it real, actually.
Well, that's what I love about working with you, is that we do get to keep it real. And, you know, and I want to just touch on a couple of things you said there, because, you know, you talk about this and it's money, but this relates to so many aspects of our life, you know, like building wealth when you're single will cascade into other things, like, you know, giving you the confidence to remain single and not feel like you have to be in a relationship. You know,
Right.
there are all kinds of implications that come with the confidence of financial literacy.
Right, right. So that's what we want to do. Ultimately, we want to wrap it all up and give women the confidence to know that they can do it, and they should do it. Whether you're partnered or not, you need to get more informed, and you need to have the confidence that you know, you can go in there and you can talk to an advisor. You know, you don't have to be intimidated by them, and it's okay to ask questions. So we just want to build up that confidence and that knowledge.
And I love that you talked about coming to an advisor, because I really want to wrap up this segment today talking about that, because financial advisors as a career, I am seeing more and more women talking about finances than ever.
Yeah.
So tell me about what that looks like for you right now, because I know I've been in meetings with Meridian and it's been all women. I love it.
Yeah. So, you know, there is a ton. And so I think the financial advisor part of the industry has been slow to get more women in. So from a banking and financial services perspective, and you see the meetings that we've been in, there's all women, but to actually have advisors, financial advisors, the industry is sitting at about 20 some odd percent, which is really low when women make up 50% of the population in Canada. So, so there's a real focus on it. And I'm really out here. I mean, I head up wealth for Meridian. I have some great stats just in terms of the women that we have, like 62% of my top performers are women. So, you know, women do really well in this job. And what is disheartening, but we want to change this, is that a lot of women don't want to come into this industry because they think it's very, you know, macho and, you know, arrogance. And you know what? It was. And in some cases it is, but that's certainly not the environment we have. You know, 50% of my leadership team are women, and we continue. And I'm really excited because the most recent hires, we're really wanting to encourage women to join as financial advisors. We're at about 40% of our recent hirings are women. So we do know, though, through some recent studies that even women who, you know, women who are graduating from schools know that there's a career, but don't want it because they don't think they can have work-life balance. They think it's very aggressive, and they think they need to be real math experts. And I'm here to say you don't. The most important thing is, you know what, the skill set is a skill set. So you have to have some key competencies, but a successful advisor is one that can relate to the person in front of you. And, you know, you've heard me talk about EQ all the time, but it's really about that. And women are stronger at EQ, right? And so what a great career, you know, that if you can base it on what you're naturally good at, and we teach you the foundations. I just want to encourage women to start thinking about being a financial advisor.
Listen, I think you and I have talked about this before. I've talked about how my hairdresser is my therapist,
Yeah.
essentially. I want my financial advisor to really be the same. I want to be able to see my financial advisor and share everything, because money is so connected, obviously, with
Yes.
everything we do. And if all the relationships I can think, professional relationships we have, I think our financial advisors probably the most important, one of the most important.
Yeah, and can you imagine? And it is the case where you don't feel comfortable talking to them. And so, you know, I have a lot of male advisors, but the key way we hire is you have to be able to communicate with people. I don't want anybody that doesn't. And so we train them. What does that mean to emotionally connect? What does EQ mean? How do you create a safe space? And so we actually provide them with training with that, and we continually talk about that. So that is our culture. And like you said, we as advisors in this business have to create that space so that you as a client can feel safe enough to open up. And so so that's our mission. And so again, it's a great opportunity for women as well to consider a different career.
Well, I am very excited to get into these next classes with you and start giving women all the confidence they need to go forth and, basically conquer the world. So, but if in the meantime, until we get to our next interview, how can people connect with you and connect with an advisor?
Yeah, so check out our website, meridiancu.ca. Firstly, we have a ton of great information. I'm actually going to be creating a separate portal where women can go in, but right now it's under a tab called Good Sense on our website. Tons of information to get started. And if you want to talk to advisor, check out by location or by person, check out one of our advisors and book an appointment. So we're always there to help.
All right. Amazing. Dilys, thank you so
Great.
much.
Thanks. Great.